All right, guys, we are live right now with another episode of CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr., and today is Wednesday, August 20th, 2014. Today we're going to talk about some trading-related topics, and we're going to get into some things with some of the new altcoins that I'm looking at right now that I have my eye on. So we're going to jump into some information about some Bitcoin news at the top of the show. But the coins we're going to talk about today are xCloudCoin, NeosCoin, and ClusterCoin. It's pardon me for my 1 second. Oh, I'm a little bit unorganized, but that's okay. It's been a busy week for me and my business. But I've been doing a lot of trading, and I want to talk about ICOs. Okay, we'll talk about ICOs a little bit, and then we'll get some news as well. What an ICO is, some people don't realize, is it's just like an IPO with a stock. So when you talk about an IPO, it's an initial public offering. So what that is that's when the stock becomes available for the public to buy for the first time. Let's say a couple years ago, Facebook did their IPO, and that was the first time any regular person could own a part of Facebook. It came out at $28 a share. It went up to, in the 40s or so, and it went back down to 10 or 12, and now it's back up again into the 30s, I believe, something like that. So that's a stock. That's Facebook. An ICO being initial coin offering, that is what you have in the cryptocurrency world, and it's kind of a relatively new phenomenon. So up until recently, coins would come out at a certain date, and the coin developers would make the coin available for mining. And what that would entail basically is, excuse me 1 second. You'd have to point your hardware, your mining equipment, at the actual the servers to mine that coin, and you get rewarded. So that was one way of doing it, just the way you get a block reward when you mine Bitcoin. Now with the new ICO model, is the coin offering is hosted on a particular exchange. So the most common one we're seeing with the three that we're going to talk about today are hosted on the Bittrex exchange. That's Bittrex. Bittrex. Bittrex.com. I will have that in the show notes. So what you will find out with these exchanges, with these coin offerings, is essentially, whether you find out about it on Bitcoin Talk forum or whether you find out about it on the exchange itself, the ICO is something to where there'll be a certain amount of coins available. The most recent one I participated in was NeosCoin, N-E-O-S, NeosCoin. That one recently just was completed yesterday on Tuesday, the 19th. Actually, it was early in the morning on Wednesday, and today, the date of this show. So they offered something like 125 Bitcoin for their ICO, and it was the first 25 Bitcoin were at 10,000 Satoshi each, and then the next 100 Bitcoin roughly were at 12,500 Satoshi each. So just to give you a little comparison, right now the NXT coin, which is a pretty popular altcoin, Bitcoin 2.0 technology, is trading at around 2,000 Satoshi. So a lot of these coin offerings are coming out relatively high in price per coin, and I think that's actually pretty good, and I'll say why. I think for one reason specifically is the fact that if the coin offerings were too low, they would suffer more from the pump and dump scenario, and also, there's a lot of times you have to look at the actual quantity of the coins available. So if there's 1 million coins offered at 10,000 Satoshi each, and there's 21 million coins total, that's similar to the case with NeosCoin. We're going to get into each coin a little bit and talk about what they have to offer and what sets them apart, and then go into what the ICO process looked like for each coin. I'm just going to step away for 1 second. Pardon me, guys. I have to plug in my computer. I thought I had it plugged in. I do not. So just 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyway, much better. So let's get into the pricing information, and then we'll talk about each of these coins and what makes them different and why I invested. Full disclosure, I'm invested in all three, and we'll talk about what the trading aspect is like and how I go about picking my spots and moving in and out of positions, and what trading looks like from a perspective of someone who does it. So let's talk about pricing real quick. As of right now, the time of recording, this is being done live on August 20th, 2014. Bitcoin price right now, I'm going to pull it up. Last check was at about 514, 515. We're up a little higher right now. As of right now, we're at 518. Been a wild ride. I'm going to go over some of that with you guys. Bitcoin has been pretty flat since from the time of, look at the charts, from July 2nd until July 23rd, which is a good 3 weeks in Bitcoin time. That's a little while, but right before that period we had a lot of turbulence too. So I mean, Bitcoin has gone from in the 800s back in January down to the 600s in February, staying into the 600s into March, down into the 500s in May, and then you have or April, and then in May you have a nice rise back up into the 650s. And it was, like I said, from May, basically from May 30th to a few days ago, so June, July, August, almost 3 months, you have Bitcoin relatively flat between 630s and 640s. And then in the past few days, we had a pretty serious price drop. We went down to as low as about 441 from 590 over 8 days. So to see price go from 590 to 441, that's a 20% drop. And then we've had almost a full rebound, about 10, 12, 15% back. So pretty turbulent. I think some of the causes of that are a few fold. Excuse me. Excuse me. So what you find out is that if you do the math, Bitcoin right now, the block reward is at 25 coins, and there's a block mined on Bitcoin roughly every 10 minutes. So let's just say 6 blocks an hour, 24 hours a day. 6 times 24 is 6, 24, 48, 96. It's like 136 or something, 138, whatever it is. So call it 135, 140 Bitcoin a day released onto the network at $500 and some change a piece. Roughly, you're talking about $100 and something thousand worth of Bitcoin that are new Bitcoin created today. So for the price to stay the same, you need everyone that held Bitcoin yesterday to hold their Bitcoin and not sell any, and you need $120,000 worth of new investment capital to come into the Bitcoin network, just for the price to stay the same. For price to go up, you need more money coming in than new coins are created. Now, at some point, 120,000 a day is going to be an arbitrary number, and within a year and a half, 2 years, that number is going to actually cut in half. So the block reward is going to go from 25 to 12.5 coins. At that point, I think we'll see a pretty quick price rise to compensate for that. We've seen that in the past. The other factor is the altcoins coming out are helping offset the price of Bitcoin. So for the longest time, Bitcoin was not only the only game in town, it was seen as the only legitimate game in town. Now there's so many alt currencies coming out that all offer something unique, or many of them offer something unique, and the ones that don't offer anything unique offer basically similar or possibly better service than Bitcoin or than some of the altcoins out there at a much lower price. So, I mean, the question comes to mind of, why is a coin worth anything versus something else? Why is a peer coin or a name coin down to $1 or 70 cents or $1.40 when just a few weeks ago it was $3. Just a few months before that, it might have been $6. So on the one hand, you look at these currencies, you say, well, I'm just going to get into the wrong one and lose all my money or lose 60 or 80% of your value. Yeah, there's an extent of that to which that could occur. But at the same point in time, I mean, for example, let's jump ahead and talk about NeosCoin real quick. And we'll spend some more time delving into these throughout the program. But I spent, a small chunk of change yesterday on NeosCoin, and I'm actually might be making a purchase right now while I'm on the show, but I can't really do two things at once. But this coin came out yesterday, and it's actually in a little bit of a drop right now. But so the price went from it was 10,000, like I said, and 10,000 and 12,500 Satoshi in the ICO phase, and then they launched and they went as high as almost 20,000 Satoshi, and they've fluctuated around. I say they, I don't know. I mean the coin itself fluctuated around, and right now it's actually at a low point. I might add a few more coins on. I could buy some coins right now at around 11,000 Satoshi, which is less than the ICO. I'm going to see if I can make a purchase real quick. First cryptocurrency purchase on Voluntary Virtues Network on air, I think, to my knowledge. So if I could buy at 11,007 Satoshi, so when you're buying on a market, you want to know a little bit what you're doing, because if you just click buy, you're going to pay what the highest asking price is, which right now is $12,299. The last price is that price, but the bids are the other side of the equation. The bids are what people are willing to pay for a coin. So right now people are willing to pay 11,007 Satoshi. So I'm going to come in a little above that and go, sorry, I'm going to go 11,010 Satoshis. Go a little over the last one, and I'll buy, let's do 100 coins. Add on a little bit. That's 0.11, so I can afford that, no problem. And I'm not buying 100 coins in this very second because I'm putting in a bid, and actually someone just put a bid in above mine. So I may never see those 100 coins, but I saw the price went down. I said, you know what, now's a position for me to get in and add a little more on. Now, I didn't expect the price to go down that low, but there's a little fluctuation that takes place in these exchanging, in these trading processes. And when someone dumps a lot of coins, so if someone bought, let's say, 10,000 of these Neos coins yesterday, and then today came in and said, you know, I got to pay a bill, I got to pay my cell phone bill, I forgot, whatever, I got to sell this coin and get it into Bitcoin and pay my bill, whatever. Early on right now, there's only, I don't know, a Bitcoin or so worth of trading taking place any given hour. So to dump a large quantity of coins could actually affect the price. Unfortunately, I didn't sell off anything yet, and I was pretty tied up in this coin, so I didn't have the position. I don't have a lot of flexibility to come in and add on more, like I'd like to. But so let's see. So let's talk about the coins a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can bring up the Bitcoin Talk thread. So when you guys are on Bitcoin Talk, I'm not sure if you guys use the site or not, but it's I'm gonna give you all the information right now. I'm gonna give you my password. So you want to go to bitcointalk.org and sponsor this program, CoinProz. They're going to be launching soon as well, which will be a great alternative to Bitcoin Talk. But in the meantime, Bitcoin Talk is sort of the considered bread and butter. So I'm going to pull this up on a screen share real quick and let you guys see what I see, if I can. Screen share. Alright. Cool. So I'm sharing the whole screen in a little bit of a bizarre world where everything's crazy. All right, so this is Bitcoin Talk Forum. I'm not logged in right now, so no big deal, but we're going to go over to search, and I'm going to show you how to find some of these things. So let's go to NeosCoin first, because that's the one that is just launched and be hyped right now. It's already bouncing back up. I didn't get to buy in at those $11,000, 11,000 Satoshi range. It's already back up to 13. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming in and out. So anyway, so you guys can see what I see. I want you to see this. So if you're on bitcointalk.org and you want to see the new coins, go to Forum, Other, Alternate Cryptocurrencies, Announcements for Altcoins. And then they'll always start with this ANN. That means announcement. And they'll say the name of the coin, NeosCoin in this case. And then it tells you the coin symbol, NEOS. So that's how you can find it on an exchange. Now, sometimes there's tell you features, arbitrage, multi-algo, in-wallet trading, and more. So NeosCoin has some distinguishing features. I'm going to go into that a little bit. I'm going to talk about the coin. And this will be instructive for you guys to understand how to analyze a new coin and what makes coins different. Okay? So you got the logo, obviously, NeosCoin logo, whatever. Pretty standard stuff. Multi-algo. So the algorithm is the algorithm. It's a SHA-256, Blake 256, X11. So there's three different ways to mine the coin, essentially. There's 21 million coins that are going to be made. The block reward halves every 105,000 blocks. So it has something called a fair launch, which means that the first from block number 2 to 1001, the block reward is reduced to only 0.1. So that kind of prevents people from mining and dumping right away if there's a pump and dump situation or if the price skyrockets, which as of right now I wouldn't call it skyrocketing. It's a little hot, a little cold. I was expecting more, but we'll see here. So let's see here. The first block has all the ICO coins in it. So the coins that are offered in the ICO is 1,500,000 coins. That's all mined in the first block. The block reward after that is 50 Neos coins every 5 minutes. So it's I'm not going to do the math, but it's actually 4 times the amount that's being mined in Bitcoin right nowadays. So it's like 1,200 coins a day or something like that. No transaction fees. Transaction confirmation 6, difficulty adjustment 25% up or down. These are all just different stats and variables that are relevant to a coin, some more so than others. So the official launch date of this coin is September 14th, 2014. Today is August 20th, 2014. So what does that tell you? The coin comes out officially not for another 24 days or something. Yeah. So why would that be? Why is it that I have already purchased a few thousand of these coins and they're not out for another 21 days? Well, so that's the whole point of the ICO. It's an initial coin offering. After the 21 days, people can turn on their mining computers and start mining these coins. Right now, the only way to get these coins are the ones that are already offered through the Bittrex exchange, which is at bittrex.com. So it's free to create an account. You go in there, create an account. These ICOs are going to become more and more common. Let's flash back to one that I did. I'm going to see if I can open up my exchange on here too, so you guys can see. While they're on the screen, we're on the screen share now, so you guys can see what trading's like a little bit too. Bittrex.com. Let's go. We talked about NeosCoin a lot. Let's go to xCloudCoin. That was one I did last week. And I had a pretty good result with that one. If I'm not mistaken, the price is down on that too right now, but it's not down relative to where I came in. It's just down high. Part of me doing this is learning, when to say I've made enough profit and to sell. Because that's the problem when other people get not greedy. When people get scared and they start to sell, their fear causes the price to go down. So it's a kind of think a little bit like with the herd mentality, which is unfortunate. Yeah, xCloudCoin is down today, 20%. It is loading up on the second system, and then we'll load it on the primary. Yeah, it's around 20,000, 21,000 Satoshi. I bought in at 10,000 Satoshi. So no matter which way you slice it, I'm up on CloudCoin. But it was as high as almost in the 50s and almost 60,000 Satoshi. And I think it'll go back there. We're going to talk about what makes xCloudCoin unique in a second, too. You guys can see my login, but you can't see my password. See the number of digits in my password, though. Telling you much. So I want you to see, I didn't want you to see exactly how much coin I have on stuff, but I don't care. I want you to see what this is like trading. So you log into the exchange here. Let me just go back to my Hangout, make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So you go into your exchange here. Up top on Bittrex, you have the sponsored coins. So NeosCoin is sponsored because it's doing the ICO there. And then xCloudCoin was recently as well, and you can see it's down a lot today. Let's take a look at xCloudCoin, and then we'll go back into maybe NeosCoin and ClusterCoin as well. You notice it's CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour, and we're not talking about Bitcoin that much. We're talking about other cryptocurrencies. So I just think that's worth pointing out because you know, Bitcoin is more than just about the actual Bitcoin branded coin itself. So on Bittrex, I want to show you guys the historical chart on this. If I zoom out a teeny weeny bit. All right, here's the ICO right here. So this is August 10th. And if you look at the price, it opened at 10,300 Satoshi. And right away, you can see the price go up and up and up and up. It goes up to 18,000, goes up to 21,000, 34,000. And then if you look at the tippity top of the spike here, it gets to 62,209 Satoshi. Now we're all the way down in recent time to as low as, well, this thing doesn't even show how low it says 19,000 Satoshi. Oh yeah, no, we're in CloudCoin. That's correct. So every time you move the chart around, you get a different perspective too. I always encourage people to remember that. The chart gives you perspective. If I go to the most recent chart, I can say, oh, it looks pretty flat, it's a little down. Go back out to the week chart where each line represents, not a week actually, but it would be if there was enough content here. So you can see in the bottom, here's the 14th of August. Here's the 20th of August. So you can see the range here is pretty much, for the most part, 20,000 Satoshis up to 40,000 Satoshis. Is there upward progress? Is there downward progress? It's hard to say. But stuff. So you don't know which coin is going to win out in the end. This is a lot of guessing and kind of high risk trading. But let's go back in time real quick. And you pay 10,000 Satoshi, and then over here they're worth 50,000 Satoshi. So, you know, let's say you spend $50 and it goes up 5 times. That's $250. So, yeah, you know, you can talk about the ups and downs and the swings, but if you know how to time your things right and you're on top of the right coins when they come out, Bitcoin is an opportunity for you to make $100, $200, $300 a week off of maybe a $100 investment here, $100 investment there, if you're timing yourself right and you have an idea sort of how these things work. So I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of insight. You know, part of the purpose of me doing this program is to give you guys some idea of what it is that I know about Bitcoin and catch everyone up a little bit. And I don't mind sharing like trade secrets and stuff like that. And there's you guys reading the better. Right now, a lot are like straight automated path and whales. Whales are people with a lot of currency, a lot of Bitcoin currency that come in and out of positions and move the markets and swing the markets really bad. So down below here in the chart, I'll show you how this works. The top part of the chart is price. The bottom part of the chart is volume. Volume, not as in sound, as in quantity of transactions. So you might hear business owners talk about gross volume sales. Gross would be how much profit or how much revenue you're taking in, the quantity of transactions. So you might make $1 million on 10 sales if your product is worth $100,000 each. I might make $1 million on 100,000 sales if my product is worth $10 each. So it all depends. Up top, you have the pricing that shows you what one coin is worth. In this case, it's CloudCoin that we're looking at. Down below, those lines represent the volume. So how many CloudCoins are being traded? When you have high volume in any situation, that's indicative of a trend. So that's just stock trading kind of 101, but that's just anything. So if I were to see at the end of this chart, which I'm starting to see a little bit of some volume here, but it's not a lot. So if you saw more and it was green or red, it'd be indicative of the trend. So anyway, so the reason why this chart starts out really flat here and then pops up is because on day one, over here on the left, the chart started and the ICO price is 10.3, 10,300 Satoshi. It just stays flat there across, and then when it was August 9th at 11, give or take, p.m., the coin sold out, xCloudCoin, and it started to rocket ship up. It started to go up pretty dramatically. What is xCloudCoin? Okay, so I actually haven't had a chance to participate in the beta. I'm going to go back to me so you guys can see me again. I had a chance to participate in the beta of xCloudCoin for a little while, and it's pretty cool. So what it kind of allows you to do is, hey guys, it kind of allows you to have some file storage and some certain types of extra software functionality within the blockchain, within the wallet. So kind of like Counterparty or Next, you go to a web wallet application to log in. This isn't fully launched yet, but like I said, I had a chance to try the beta out. So you go there, you log in, and within there you have your wallet. You can send a xCloudCoin to yourself or to other of your friends that you have in the wallet. You can upload files. It's sort of like a Dropbox. You can upload files, videos, songs into xCloudCoin's interface. And there's an exchange built into it as well, and you can exchange coins right within the wallet. So xCloudCoin is pretty unique in that way. All the technical information on that coin as well. I want to touch on all three coins that are interesting to me right now with regards to these ICOs, and we'll talk about overview sense. That's kind of a file transfer type of situation in the wallet, which is cool. Not extremely unique, but you know, it's still pretty awesome, pretty useful of a feature. And there's some teams that are doing it, some coins that are using that type of technology, but it's not something where there's a clear-cut winner yet that we're you know, we can say authoritatively which one is going to be the one to win out in that regard. NeosCoin is interesting. NeosCoin is the one that just launched last night. It is it has, I don't want to botch the names. It has an anonymous send feature, which I'll get the name of in a second. It has a exchange also built into the wallet as well, and other features. So the wallet and the anonymous send feature are unique, and the developer who is behind NeosCoin is known to be one of the developers who has been around in cryptocurrency for a long time, and who has been known to help out other coins with regards to development issues when those issues arise. So NeosCoin is going to have the distinction of the anonymity feature, and it works in a special kind of way. I studied it a little bit. I don't pretend to know it like the back of my hand or anything, but the way it essentially works is you send anonymously, but the problem with sending anonymously is that you still have to wonder if you were able to. So if you're you send something, have a dispute as to whether or not it was sent. So, well, hey, I sent that to you. No, I don't. If you can't look at the blockchain and verify that your transaction went through, that could be a problem. So this NeosCoin software allows parties engaging in an anonymous transaction to be able to have a verification. So before, this is a probably a simplification of it. Before, I would send you anonymous transaction through NeosCoin. Once you receive, or prior to you even sending me your wallet address or for us initiating the transaction, you send me a token that kind of I'm able to. It's almost like a red light, green light. So once we do the anonymous transaction, that token will change or indicate to me that the anonymous transaction following that token has been completed. So it's sort of a one-time warning flare that goes up and says, yeah, that anonymous transaction went through. So it's just for the two parties engaging in the transaction. It's not for the rest of the world to know who else are engaged in sending those funds. But it does give both parties verification that, in fact, the transaction went through. So that's kind of a new thing, and that's actually, according to the developer of NeosCoin, that's never been done before. That's developed from the ground up. So there is something unique to that. We touched on CloudCoin having kind of the Dropbox type feature to where you can upload and store data, and that's why they call it CloudCoin. It's sort of in the cloud or in the coin. CloudCoin, let me give you the ticker symbol so you can go. It's CLD, and you can buy that on Bittrex. I don't know if it's on any other exchanges. Currently trade around 21,000 Satoshi. Again, that ICO'd at 10,300. So some of us are sitting here saying, oh, we should have sold earlier. We would have made more money. But if you invested in CloudCoin, you'd be up double right now in the past week. And right now it's down 20% on the day. So we were all up about triple or so. I was hanging on and selling a little bit on spikes and buying back in on dips. And in so doing, when you have a hot coin that's kind of got an upward trend, if you can buy on the spikes and sell on the dips, but not so like let me give you some trading strategies. So let's say you have 2,000 CloudCoin and it goes up to 44,000 Satoshi. You might sell 500 CloudCoin at that point. So it's kind of a spike. Let me sell some. Let me sell a quarter of my position. Now, let's say tomorrow, the next day go by, and CloudCoin goes down from 44,000 Satoshi down to, let's say, 28,000 Satoshi or something like that. Now, hey, you just sold 500 coins at 44. Now you can buy in those 500 coins back at 28. So fill your position back. That difference, 12,000, 16,000 Satoshi times the number of coins times 500 is your profit. So that might be 0.1 Bitcoin, 0.2 Bitcoin, whatever it is. You all do the math. I don't know. It might be 0.01, 0.05, whatever. If you make 10, 15 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks on a trade, there's nothing wrong with that if you can do that a few times a day. On the flip side of the coin, here's what can happen. So you sell at 44,000 Satoshi, like I said, and then it goes up to 50,000. You go, shit, man, I shouldn't have sold at 44. It's going to 50. But then the other side of your mind goes, well, am I going to be selling myself short, or but because is it going to keep going up, or should I sell everything now? Like now, is this the highest point it's ever going to be at? Now is my chance, or is now a foolish place to get out? So that's the part that I can't tell you per coin. Part of it is reading the market. We can go back over to the screen share. I want to show you some more things on how the market works. I didn't know how much time I was going to have in this episode to actually go over the coins themselves or go over trading, but I knew it was kind of a dual-edged thing. We talked about different parts of the market here. You're looking at the chart. This is CloudCoin. I'll show you the order book. This is very relevant. The next part right here you're looking at is where you place an order. So over here it says buy and then sell on the right. It's always buy on the left, sell on the right. And then when you go down even further, oops, it's reversed. So Yeah, no, it's not reversed. It's the same. So over here, I want to sell, let's say, 1,000 units of CloudCoin. I want to ask whatever. So I go down here and see who are selling. There's people selling. Okay, he's selling 36 coins. This one's selling 753 coins. This one's selling 111 coins. And then all the asking prices right here. So as you go down the sell side of the list, you see the numbers go up because these are people that are looking to get more and more and more for the same coins. So if I'm interested in selling my coins now, I got to undercut this guy at the top of the list, or I got to put it up here and hope the price goes up. So right now, this guy's asking 20,758. If I wanted to sell a few coins, I'll just show you, for example. This is how I would do it. He's asking 20,758. So I'll go right over here. I put in a bid of 20,005, let's say, a little bit underneath. He's selling 36 coins, so just to blend in and whatever, because if you sell a lot, you can swing the market. I'm just going to sell 45 coins real quick. This is just for example. I'm selling a lot lower than I would. This is not a smart place for me to sell, but I don't care if I sell 24 coins or 45 coins real quick just to show you guys. So you'll see right here, after a second, my 45 coin order is going to pop right up. Now it's there. So now I'm the cheapest deal on the CloudCoin market. If someone wants to buy CloudCoin, I have them for sale for 20,755. On the flip side of the table here, you have the buy side. This is what people are willing to buy them for. So this person is willing to buy 9.749 whatever CloudCoin at 19,889, 19,000 Satoshi. I'm selling over here at 20,755. So my side is the ask side. This side is the bid side, what someone's willing to bid for the price, and this is what someone's asking for the product. So I'm actually going to go retract my sell order if it hasn't filled already. Right here underneath your open orders, you can see this is not an advertisement of Bittrex. It's how almost any exchange works. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. You can see it's canceling it. Close my order. And I don't know if it already sold or not. On this exchange, you can go right here and go to your history and see where your most recent history is. So the last time I did anything here, I bought some coins at 29.8. I was selling coins at 34, buying at 31, 32, selling at 36, 35, buying at 32, buying at 24, buying at 30, buying at 31. So you can see you just want to buy lower than you're selling. That's all. I'm going to zoom back in, take a look. This actually worked out for me. I was doing a show today. I was like, well, I don't really have time to do a show. I mean, but I'm interested. I mean, I'm trading a lot. It's not that I don't have time to shoot a show. I know what I was going to talk about, but I'm like, well, I'm trading Bitcoin all day. Why don't I talk about the coins that I'm buying and selling and whatnot? We got another about 15 minutes left of the program. We kind of we rushed into this one today. We didn't set up, the chat or, we didn't make a Facebook group announcement or anything. So we're not going to have any real feedback from the audience today, which is okay. But we have some pretty information for you guys, so we'll do that. Let's look at ClusterCoin. ClusterCoin's a new ICO as well. So if you're on Bittrex, which I am, and you click at the Bitcoin tab here, this shows all the coins that are traded in Bitcoin. Here's the most high volume coins based on quantity of trades, volume of trades. So the most popular right now is NeosCoin. It's kind of recovering from that little dip. Gamer League coin is on a massive run. I didn't invest enough in this coin, but I did invest, and I'll double now, at least a little over double, but I only put in like $20 or so. Cloak Coin, Syscoin, Dark Coin. These are all coins that are relatively high volume, higher volume. CloudCoin is there. Here's ClusterCoin. What you'll notice about ClusterCoin, if you can see on the resolution of the screenshot, is there's no arrow associated with it, where everything else is up or down, green or red arrow. ClusterCoin doesn't because the price is flat and stayed flat. So let's click in ClusterCoin and I'll show you why. It's in an ICO stage right now. ClusterCoin, just like these other coins, still out. At that point, you usually would have pretty much right away. So you can see, no matter how far I zoom out on this timeline, it's completely flat. You see a little spikes of volume as to when more or less coin was being purchased. This is what you're going to see in ICO and Bittrex. So the top bar here tells you the link to the Bitcoin Talk forum where you can find out more information about the coin. And it says this is an ICO hosted by Bittrex. Please refer to the announcement for more information. It's Bitcoin Talk. So right now there's 183 Bitcoin worth of ClusterCoin available. They were asking for over 316 Bitcoin or so, which is $180,000, $150,000 U.S. currency worth of crypto. Kind of that goes all to the developers in exchange for these. I don't know what it's hypothetically worthless, but these undetermined value coins based on market is not fleshed out a value for the coins yet. The ClusterCoin, they've already gotten rid of over 100 and something of these coins, and they said that what they're going to do with this coin is that anything that's available at the end of this crowdfunding, they're going to destroy those coins, and they won't be available in the actual ICO. This one's at 10,000 Satoshi. They've already sold a lot of coins. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I'm starting to feel, I mean, they're still selling. They got about 2 or 3 Bitcoin sold in the past 2 hours, so they're still selling at a reasonable rate. ClusterCoin, here's what ClusterCoin aims to do, and it is a cool idea. So what ClusterCoin does is it's based on the Bitcoin algorithm. It's a SHA-256 coin, if I'm not mistaken. It's a single algorithm. I'm actually going to load up the Bitcoin Talk thread, which is linked right here on Bittrex, just to be sure. But what they're aiming to do, which is unique, is they're aiming to reduce transaction time to their target's 3 seconds. So it's pretty revolutionary, pretty insane. I mean, there are a few cryptocurrencies that move in the minutes or seconds time frame, versus whereas Bitcoin takes roughly, give or take 20-30 minutes to get confirmations. So there's a countdown clock. There's a ClusterCoin white paper. White paper is the scientific document that explains the technology behind a project. Right now, they've sold 1.661 million ClusterCoin, which is worth 166 Bitcoin. All their information's here on this Bitcoin Talk thread, which is nice. Here's the technical information specs. Symbol CLSTR. It's a SHA-256 coin, like I said, just like Bitcoin, the same technology behind Bitcoin. 7 million coins in ICO. They've already agreed to destroy half of those, so there's only 3.5 million available. 1.66 have been sold already. Give you the top overview of the innovation section here. It says, in this project, we're going to change the fundamental rule of blockchain generation and improve block confirmation time to mere few seconds. The key factor that currently prevents us to do this is a requirement to synchronize blockchain between all parts of the network, located all over the world. So what they do is this coin, I read the white paper already, what it essentially does is it determines every so many blocks whether or not the network needs to branch out and expand. And it does that based on the transaction load and the usage of the network. So the network has a mechanism for deciding whether or not it needs to split up. When it does, it takes the blockchain, it kind of clones it, forks it maybe, and it allows them to operate independently as geoclusters. You don't have to actually send coin to the entire blockchain to have it be validated. You validate within your cluster, and that's good enough. If you need to send a coin across the network and you're outside of your own geocluster, which is usually less frequently, if you're buying something with your coin, it's in your town or it's at least in your country, you'll have an immediate or near immediate transaction time with ClusterCoin. If you need to transact across geological boundaries, across geographic boundaries, then that's something that remains to be seen. They're still trying to aim for pretty speedy transaction times, though, because the different clusters don't need to coincide or validate with one another constantly. They just need to update occasionally. So what this all comes down to when you're investing in cryptocurrencies and whatnot, you want to look at a few things. You want to look at the economics behind it, in terms of, whether you're an Austrian or a Keynesian. Well, if you're a Keynesian, this may not work very well for you to understand the actual scarcity of it. But most of you guys listening to this and watching this understand Austrian economics from a libertarian philosophical standpoint. And when you apply that to the Bitcoin world, you look at features, you look at developer reputation, and you look at the quantity of coins and the value of the coins that are being the asking price of the coin. One of the distinct advantages to touch on for you guys to understand in regards to Bitcoin trading is that the fees are usually something to the effect of 0.25%, and that's for a successful trade. So if I buy 10,000 coins at 10 Satoshi each, and then I sell them all at 20 Satoshi each, I double my money. I'm paying a 0.25% fee, not on the profits, on the initial trade amount and on the initial sale amount. So it's a quarter of 1%. So just think of it like this: if you make 100% profit, your cost for that trade is 1/4 of 1%. So if I gave you 399 acorns, or if I gave you 400 and I asked you to give me one back, that's the ratio that your trading fee costs. Whereas if you're buying or selling stock on a stock market, whether it's Scottrade or any of these other ones, you're going to pay something like $5 or $6 or $8 per actual transaction. So you have to be moving thousands upon thousands of dollars in stocks to day trade. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can get involved in day trading with maybe $50 or $100. And actually, just ironically, I haven't day traded in Bitcoin for a few months. I haven't had the time, and that's how I found xCloudCoin. So I just decided one day I'm gonna day trade. This was about 2.5 weeks ago. I'm gonna day trade with Bitcoin. Try to make some money and see what I can do. Just because I haven't done it. I haven't done it since last fall, and I did pretty well back then. Granted, I rode the price up, but so I was day trading a few weeks ago. I started with $100, and granted, I added another $120, $130 on, but I did really well. I mean, I turned $166 of xCloudCoin. I mean, even though I'm sitting on a lot of it, it's all doubled up right now. I mean, it was up to quadruple or almost 5 times the value. But it's hard to brag when your numbers are constantly changing anyway. So I'm not really trying to brag. I'm trying to point out that people eke out 5 or 6% profits on their stock market position over a year. If you're savvy, if you spend a little bit of time trying to just understand these markets and watch the swings and follow this program, and you can message me as well offline, off the program, and ask me for some advice or some help getting started if you want. I'm always down to help out and give people a little help. But check out these ICOs. They're going to get to become more common, to where they're not exactly all of them are going to make you a lot of money, but some will. Because the thing is, like, for example, this NeosCoin, it went up on Bitcoin Talk on the 18th, and today is now the 20th, and it sold out right before today started, or no, right into today, like 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So you got to be on this stuff. I mean, this coin was announced on the 18th, and it sold out the 20th. Basically 36 hours later or something like that. So yeah, you can go buy these coins. They're not heavily marked up yet, but we're still waiting for more announcements to come out. We're still waiting for the developer to announce more features. So this is something that it's a moving landscape. So I wanted to give you guys an overview. We talked about coin ICOs today. We talked about xCloudCoin, which is the ticker CLD, which gives you Dropbox type functionality in the cloud. We talked about NeosCoin, which allows you to trade within the wallet and allows you to send anonymous transactions and also know that they're verified. And there's a very well-respected developer behind the NeosCoin project. And we also talked about ClusterCoin, which is supposed to reduce Bitcoin transaction times to as low as 3 seconds with 3 confirmations. So 1 second per block or per confirmation on a SHA-256 algorithm, which is pretty revolutionary if it can be done. So until next week, guys, we're going to wrap up the program. Thank you for listening and watching to the watching the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr. You are tuned to the Voluntary Virtues Network. 2 more subscribers, guys. We're almost at 900. The network is about a month or 2 old, and we're growing like crazy. Tell your friends, share the links. Thanks so much, guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.